Garbage. Mets lose to the Philadelphia Phillies 8-2. Another game that, yes, of course, had 8 runs again, but not for the Mets tonight, or for this time around, I should say, because it was actually an afternoon game, but not for the Mets this time. The starting pitching, trash. The lineup today, trash. The managing decision today, trash. And then, of course, the bullpen, trash. The bullpen, we had questions going into the season. I know it's only game 3, but holy shit, how are we going to make it through 162 with this? Because the bullpen is trash. I don't want to hear any excuses that it's only game 3. The bullpen, this is just who they are. This is just who the bullpen is for the Mets. It just is. It just is. Familia sucks. We knew that going into this year. Betances sucks. We knew that going into this year. Jacob Barnes is not a good pitcher at all. That we didn't know going into this year. But if you saw that he pitched for the Angels last year, you might be able to make a fair assumption that, hey, this guy is not good if the Angels didn't even want to keep him in their bullpen, because the Angels bullpen, we know how bad their bullpen is. And then you still have Robert Gsellman, who hasn't pitched yet. You got Diaz, who hasn't pitched yet. Are we really excited for Robert Gsellman to pitch? No. Diaz, I'm a little more intrigued by what he has in store. The only 3 guys right now in this bullpen that I have any sort of confidence in, excluding Joey Lucchesi because of the fact that he technically is in the rotation, until Lugo gets back also, that I'm excluding because we do need Lugo back badly. But the 3 guys that I have the most confidence in the bullpen is Edwin Diaz, Trevor May. Despite his first 2 outings, I don't want to hear anyone saying that because of his first 2 outings, he's going to suck all year. If you look at the past numbers, he's been good. The only reason I'm making a big deal after the first 3 games with guys like Familia and Betances and Barnes is because this is who they are. They're not good pitchers. And then also, Aaron Loop was the last guy I wanted to mention in that category for guys that I'm not as concerned about. But everyone else, it's just who they are. They just aren't good Major League Baseball pitchers. They just don't belong in the bullpen at all. The bullpen is horrendous. And we knew going into the season what we were getting out of this bullpen. We knew it wasn't good enough. Some people had confidence and thought, hey, the bullpen got fixed enough. No. The bullpen sucks. And I think part of the reason the Mets didn't end up making more moves than they should have with the bullpen is because you're stuck with these garbage contracts with Betances and Familia. Thankfully, both of them are gone after this year. I know Familia is. I'm not sure about Betances, but thank God. I don't know if Betances has another option, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't. So thank God they're gone after this year. I know I'm already looking ahead to next season with that, but we can't win when you have these guys in the bullpen. You just can't. You can't. These guys suck. You have 3 guys in your bullpen right now. 4, actually. 4 guys in your bullpen that are only there to be the mop-up guys, if you will. How are you supposed to go through this season when 3 out of your 4 guys are when 4 out of your 7 guys, I should really say there, 3 out of your 4 guys, what am I saying? But 4 out of your 7 guys are just mop-up role guys. Gsellman, Familia, Betances, and Barnes. I keep forgetting Barnes all the time. But how are you going to make it through? You still got Drew Smith, who's injured. Who knows if they're going to let him in the bullpen because of the fact that at some point you're going to have Lugo coming back. I'm sure Barnes is going to get kicked out. Once Syndergaard comes back, someone from the rotation's getting the boot and going to the bullpen. And I'd imagine that's Peterson if he gives starts like this again, or it's going to be Joey Lucchesi. You're going to throw one of those guys in the bullpen, or maybe even Taijuan Walker. Who knows what happens there? You're going to throw one of them in the bullpen. And Drew Smith is someone I like, and it's just unfortunate that, and that's where Robert Gsellman, by the way, would probably come out. And it's just unfortunate that Familia and Betances just feel like locks for this bullpen going forward. I haven't even got to talk about the game yet because I'm this frustrated with the bullpen and this concern only after game 3 of the season with the bullpen going forward. The bullpen is just not good. It just isn't. And I don't know why anyone had any sort of confidence going into the season with these guys. You know what would be good to build your confidence, though, when it comes to gaming? Fade grips. These are fade grips right here on my controller, and you should click the link in the description and use code Python to save yourself 20% off on fade grips to get yourself for your console controller, cases or grips, anything like that. You could also get yourself apparel such as hats, hoodies. I almost said hats, hoodies, snapbacks. Jeez. Usually I say snapbacks, but you get yourself some hats, you could get yourself some hoodies, you could get shirts. Click the link in the description, use code Python. While you're going down there, you might as well follow me on Twitter. I tweet after every single game to give your thoughts and questions. We didn't get any today because, again, still building the audience here for the Mets. And while you're down there also, if you're new, you might as well subscribe. If you're not new, or if you're new, either way, drop a like. It does help out the channel a lot. And also turn your notification bell on so you don't miss these uploads. The first inning, I got more notes than I did last game because of the fact that I didn't have to watch the Rangers at the same time. It makes life easier. I have to go through 10 more of those nights, which the struggle is going to be real. I'm just hoping that at least like 2 of these games, I don't like the 7-inning doubleheaders, but just for my sake, to make my life easier, just give me a rain out on at least 2 of the nights, please. But first inning, Nimmo leads off. He beats out an infield ground ball for a single. Then Lindor grounds out on a check swing. Nimmo gets to advance. Nola was throwing some nasty off-speed stuff, especially to Pete Alonso. He threw some nasty off-speed stuff, and this is where you gotta tip your cap to Nola, because he is just that good of a starting pitcher. He's a true ace in the league. We're fortunate enough to have Jacob deGrom, who is above that, but it's not a knock on Nola because Nola is still on another level compared to other guys in this league. He's up there with the other guys, like with the Shane Biebers, the Garrett Coles, the Zach Wheelers, guys like that. He's up there with those guys. Maybe a little bit of a level down, I should say, from Cole and Bieber, because those guys have been in Cy Young conversations pretty much every year. I know Noah was in 2018, but he hasn't been in that conversation since, so maybe I should take a step back there. But still, he's a true ace. He's a true ace. And then all grounders end up ending the inning. And then we get to the pitching. Peterson was using his slider a lot early in counts, and I think that was getting picked up on because Peterson hangs one over the plate to Rhys Hoskins. No moving on that outside pitch, and Hoskins hits a solo shot. And it's already 1-0 Phillies. Great start, right? Harper then hits a double to right field. Peterson then walks Realmuto, and then Peterson lets up a 3-run ding-dong to Alec Boehm. Strikes out Didi on 3 sliders again, using that slider a lot. His fastball was unreliable, but then he ended up getting out of that inning, thankfully. For the second inning, Dom Smith hits a double to right center field. Dom really showing that his bat needs to be in the lineup every day. We said opening day that it was stupid. By the way, the lineup construction was stupid tonight again. Jeff McNeil, I expected out of the lineup, but when you look going into tonight, I don't know how Luis Rojas, I actually wrote this in my notes, how Luis Rojas did not pick up on the fact that that Conforto's numbers against Aaron Nola are not good. They are not good. Conforto should not have been hitting third today. You instead should have had Dom hitting third today, or Dom hitting third today. Then I'd even put him down to like the 6th spot in the lineup. I don't care who you're putting above him. I don't care if it's Luis, Guillorme, whoever it is. Conforto should not be in the 3 hole, just given the numbers against Aaron Nola, which I showed on the broadcast, are really not good. He's hitting below the Mendoza line against Nola, and he just has terrible numbers. And then another thing I wrote in the side notes here that I wanted to get into, that I should have mentioned with the bullpen, is that Diaz needs to pitch tomorrow with the off day coming up. I'd expect him to pitch tomorrow no matter what. If we are winning or not, he's probably going to pitch tomorrow, which will be good because if we're not in a safe situation, which hopefully we're not because we're winning, but if we aren't in a safe situation, then it will be good for Diaz to just get that, because he might have a little bit of rust on him for sitting for a couple of days. Because you have to remember also, he sat 4 extra days waiting because of opening day getting delayed, and then he didn't pitch this entire series against Philly. So he hasn't had game action in over a week, and then it's been a week of him just waiting to get into some game action. So expect Diaz to be in the game tomorrow, by the way. And then another thing I threw in the side notes is I want a competitive game for once. I'm tired of sitting on my couch, just going on my phone for most of the game because of the fact that it's just not entertaining to watch us get blown out. Or when we're blowing the other team out, it's not like I want to be on the edge of my couch. I want to be fist pumping. I want to be getting excited and everything from the game, and I want it to be a closer game. I want the adrenaline, I want it all, but the Mets are just not putting together a competitive game whatsoever this year. It's fine if we're going to be blowing other teams out, then I'm okay with it. But the fact that we're getting blown out, it's just frustrating. Then in that second inning, the Mets let Peterson bat instead of pitch hitting with runners on first and second, which Peterson ended up finishing his outing strong. He only got through 4 innings. He ended up finishing strong, but to me, you have a chance to blow open this game. You got runners on first and second. You have a serious chance to make this a close ball game, but instead, you decide to not pitch hit here, and you keep Peterson in when you got Jeff McNeil on your bench, who, hey, I said today he should be on the bench because he hasn't been doing. He didn't do too great in the first 2 games. Maybe give him the day off, and then for the opener, you'll get to play him. But I would have put anyone up there. Not that I think the bench is that strong when it comes to pitch hitting options. Like, realistically, that's a whole other problem I have with this team right now, is that your best pitch hitting option today was McNeil. Outside of that, the Mets do not have someone on their bench that often that could pitch hit, because Davis and Guillorme are rotating. I guess you have one of those guys. Other than that, it's Jonathan VR, who had a good day at the dish, but it's Jonathan VR, who I don't think is going to be that consistent. You got then also Albert Almora Jr., who I don't think is anything too special at the plate. He's great defensively. You got of course, Tomas Nido. You're not going to use him in pinch hitting situations. Then who else am I forgetting? I don't know, but the pitch hitting options are just not great with this team, honestly. If I'm being honest, the pinch hitting options are just weak when it comes to this team. They're really weak. And I'd like to see, this is where it's going to be another thing where the Mets at the deadline, if you're a competitive team, you gotta build a deeper roster and add guys for the bench. You gotta add guys or you gotta add that big time guy where, let's say you get a Chris Bryant at third base, who hasn't been that great this year. The Cubs altogether have been awful at the plate this year. But say you get just any third baseman at the deadline this year, right? Then you end up having both Davis and Guillorme on your bench that you could use to pinch hit on most nights, and that's a upgrade right there. You're upgrading your bench along with your everyday lineup. That's something that bothered me also going into the season, is that the talk was, oh, the bench is deep enough. No, it's really not. But you had McNeil on your bench in that situation with a chance to blow the game open, who almost hit a home run in the first game, but the wind ended up pulling that one in. But you had a chance to make some serious noise, keep it a competitive game, and instead you leave Peterson up there, which I thought was a poor decision. Excuse me, I had the cough there. But third inning, Nimmo beats out a ground ball again in the exact same way. Then Lindor hits a grounder down the right field line, moves Nimmo to third. Lindor had a better day at the plate. He still, give it time with him. I think that he's going to end up, I think all the bats are a little more quiet because of the fact that you had so many more off days post spring training than you normally would I think the bats will pick it up a little bit later on. That's why I'm not too concerned with McNeil. I'm not too concerned with anyone. Yeah, with McNeil, it's a little concerning that he's showing literally no plate patience, plate discipline. That's what I meant to say. Jeez, I'm all over the place. But that I was a little concerned with that, but still, the bats will figure it out. I'm not as worried about the offense as I am with the bullpens, because the bullpen, these guys are fresh and ready to go. You gotta be better than you've been. Then Conforto flies out to right field. Conforto was not good today. Conforto sucked today. He left so many runners on base. I think he ended up leaving a total of what was it? I ended up writing in my notes. It'll come somewhere. I'm pretty sure this is next at bat where he ended up leaving. He left so many guys on base. He sucked today. He is not good in the clutch whatsoever. Then Alonso drives a ball up the middle, though. RBI single. Nimmo scores. Lindor moves over the third. And then Don Smith got struck out by a filthy curveball by Nola. Like, that curveball, the way that got that part of the plate, just absolute filth from Nola. That's what I was talking about. And then the Mets leave runners on first and third. Of course, Peterson throws a great third inning, though. However, fourth inning comes around. Guillorme gets a hit to right field. Peterson lays down a great bunt to move Guillorme to second. And then Nimmo draws a walk. And then this is where I got confused. Rojas started warming Barnes up when Peterson started batting. I don't get the logic behind that at all. Like, that's another situation where you could have pinch hit Peterson, but you didn't. I don't get it. Lindor got, but it didn't matter because Lindor got hit by the pitch to load the bases. But it did matter because Conforto goes down looking on a pitch. Yeah, it was not. It was outside, and it was out of the strike zone technically, but we know these umpires from that entire series have a wide strike zone. You got to be swinging at that. You got to be prepared to swing at that no matter what. And then, but the only good part was that Nola got his pitch count up to 90, so he ended up getting yanked from the game after only 4 innings. But it didn't matter because you did not get to their shitty bullpen that the Phillies do have. But I guess their bullpen isn't so shitty anymore, huh? Really guess it isn't. Peterson hits Joyce, who pitched hit for Noah, and then a double play ended up getting Peterson out of that inning, though, as he escaped it. 5th inning, VR gets a hit to left field. Then McCann goes down looking, and the Mets were not productive offensively at all in that 5th inning. Then Harper gets a bunt single, and Peterson got yanked out of the game for Barnes, by the way, at this point. And then the broadcast mentions Real Muto always swings first pitch against new pitchers coming into the game. And 2 runners on, Barnes throws down the heart of the fucking plate a meatball for JT Real Muto. He's smelling lunchtime. He sends that sucker out of the ballpark and hits a 3-run shot. And what are you doing throwing that pitch down the heart of the plate? You suck. And then Barnes, the broadcast is like, yeah, Barnes looked good after the home run. It doesn't matter. You can't be throwing it right down the heart of the plate. Do we not do scouting reports before the game to know, hey, this guy always swings first pitch when a new guy comes into the game? Or either way, it's just common sense to not throw a fastball down the heart of the plate to a big league hitter. In that scenario, either way, you just don't do it. You just don't. 6th inning then, Guillorme gets a base hit up the middle. Almora ended up pinch hitting and not McNeil for some reason in this situation. This is where I question Rojas again. You have a right-handed pitcher on the mound, and you decide not to go to Jeff McNeil. What were you waiting for with McNeil to get him up there at the dish today? Were you waiting for a chance for the game to be somewhat close, and then maybe he'll be clutch later on? I do not get it. Lindor ends up walking, and then Bradley comes in for the Phillies after that. Conforto then leaves 2 runners on. At that point, 11 runners left on for the Mets through 6 innings. And Conforto, I don't even know how many he left on base. He left on a stupid amount of runners. Stupid. They ended up leaving 14 runners on base that game, by the way. Here it is. Conforto left 9 runners on base. 9. And the Mets had 14 total left on base. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then Barnes goes out of the game for Dellin Betances, and here we go. Dellin Betances hits Roman Quinn. You're hitting the Phillies' worst guy in the lineup. What are you doing? Like, why have we been hitting Roman Quinn, who also, by the way, is a threat on the base path, which the Mets did not give a shit. They have not given a shit all series about stolen bases, which I forgot to mention last video. When are they going to start caring about it? Like, come on. Then he lets up a walk. Alonso, however, gets some great defense. Plays great defense, but the runner does come in, unfortunately. But then Lindor, Francisco Lindor, I love this guy at shortstop. Love it. Makes a great play, running all the way towards second base to make that throw to first base to end the inning. What a play. Like, we are, again, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We are lucky to have a guy like that playing defense for our team. He is so good defensively. 7th inning, then VR gets a triple. Then he gets a score on a wild pitch. And nothing else produced offensively. Lucchesi comes in for Betances. Lucchesi ends up going untouchable this entire outing in his 2 innings. He only allowed 1 hit, so a good day at the office for Lucchesi, which is promising to see. Then Nimmo gets on from a DD error in the 8th inning. Lindor, I marked down that Lindor's been hitting. He's been doing this so much where he's hitting these. Every time Nimmo gets on or anyone's on, he's hitting these ground balls and then he's beating it out at first, but it's just still frustrating that most of these times Lindor is just grounding out here, or at least getting it out here on these ground balls, and it's just a little frustrating, I can't lie. And then Conforto, I marked down, couldn't hit a beach ball because he just couldn't at that point. He sucked. He just sucked. What did he go? 0 for 5 today at the dish. Unbelievable. Unbelievable by him. Then the 9th inning, 13 runners left on base at that point. VR gets a double, and then that ended up being the 14th runner left on base, and the Mets lose this game 8-2 without showing any sort of fight really offensively. I even marked down after that double, though. I'm like, I tweeted after that double. I'm like, hey, is this going to be another thing where we get the 2 outs and then we give that false hope at the end? Wasn't that. 11 hits for the Mets, and 1 error, which was also frustrating. That error from who ended up getting charged with the error there? Guillorme, yeah, another Guillorme throwing error, the first base. I'm pretty sure that was it. Just ridiculous. So going in the next game, going tomorrow, you got Taijuan Walker on the bump for you. The home opener. Please don't embarrass this one in front of the fans. Please actually put up a fight. I beg that the bullpen just actually does their job tomorrow. And I do appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. And that's been Python. I'm out. Peace.